world understood what LeBron did, like other basketball players will hear what LeBron does and go, well, yeah, but that doesn't matter, right? It's like a baseball player. You're hitting a stick out of the way. It doesn't matter. It's like, no. If you knew what these performance enhancers did, then you would know why it does matter.
What do you think he's
There's
doing?
only one. We have the same drug guy, if you will. I know exactly what he's doing.
An MMA legend just dropped a bomb that could wreck the greatest basketball legacy of our time. This wasn't a joke, and it wasn't taken out of context. Chael Sonnen, a man who knows more about performance enhancers than almost anyone in pro sports, just exposed what he claims LeBron James has been doing for years. And he didn't dance around it. He named exact substances, explained how they work, and then said something that has LeBron's legal team sweating. Sonnen claimed they shared the same supplier, not allegedly, not I heard from someone. He said it straight to the camera with total confidence. This isn't some random rumor. This is the kind of statement that destroys reputations and rewrites history books. And what's wild, LeBron hasn't said a single word. No denial, no statement, nothing. Before we dive into the details of what Sonnen revealed, you have to understand why this hit harder than all the old rumors. Chael Sonnen isn't just a retired fighter chasing clout. He's a former UFC star who lived in that world, competed at the highest level, and openly talked about performance enhancers when everyone else stayed quiet. He's been there, done that, and knows how the game really works. The substances, the systems, and the shadow networks that keep it all alive. When Chael talks about this stuff, he's not guessing. He's speaking from real insider experience.
LeBron James' wife and 2 associates named in federal PED investigation story that just recently came out, and it's got a lot of people saying, is LeBron doing GH, his young growth hormone? Is this the Lance Armstrong story that's about to come out, and they're going to strip him of all these different accolades that he has?
That's why his claims about LeBron are shaking the entire sports world. Sonnen's not pushing a podcast, not selling merch, not looking for clicks. He's just saying what he knows as fact. And that's exactly what makes this so dangerous for LeBron's legacy. When a guy like Sonnen, with his background and credibility, makes specific accusations with this kind of confidence, the question isn't, is it true anymore? It's how long until someone proves it. That's the shift right there, and there's no coming back from it. So what did Chael Sonnen actually say? He didn't just drop the word steroids and disappear. He broke down the whole system like he was teaching a class. He called it the Big Three and laid it out step by step: EPO, growth hormone, and testosterone. According to Sonnen, this isn't random. It's what he calls the Lance Armstrong diet, the same deadly combo that helped Armstrong dominate cycling before his empire collapsed. And Chael didn't stop there. He explained why this mix works like magic. It's not just about getting jacked or healing faster. It's about endurance, the ability to go full throttle for 48 minutes without your body breaking down, to explode in the fourth quarter like it's the first. That's what the Big Three delivers, and Sonnen says it's the secret sauce behind legendary stamina. Now let's break it down, because once you understand the science, the accusations sound way more serious.
Bronny get a bucket on Bron right now?
Yeah, he can get a bucket on Brown right now.
Nope.
Yeah, he can get a bucket.
No way. Nope.
Man, come on, that little dude explosive, bro.
He is, but you seen his dad? His dad on that Balco.
Yeah,
he on that new
he
juice.
ain't
That
sliding like he used to.
EPO, which Sonnen called the king of performance enhancers, boosts your red blood cell count, meaning your muscles get flooded with oxygen. More oxygen equals less fatigue. You can sprint end to end without gasping for air, leap just as high in crunch time as you did at tip-off. It's basically limitless mode for your body. Then comes growth hormone. It keeps your muscles strong and speeds up recovery like crazy. Add testosterone and boom, you're maintaining power, speed, and energy like a 25-year-old, even in your late 30s. When you combine all three, you're giving your body superhuman recovery. Games that would wreck a normal player barely leave a mark. You keep your strength, explosiveness, and energy deep into your 40s, and somehow you're still playing 70 games a season and looking fresh come playoff time. Sound familiar? Because that's exactly what LeBron's been doing, year after year. LeBron's defying every natural law of aging that's ever existed in basketball. Michael Jordan couldn't do it, Kobe couldn't do it, Magic Johnson retired at 32, but LeBron, at 40, is still putting up all NBA numbers and outplaying dudes half his age. According to Chael Sonnen, that's not genetics, discipline, or some fancy $1 million recovery chamber. It's the big three.
Care how you take care of your body, or rather, one of the ways you take care of your body. The fact that LeBron James has taken very few games off this season, not like last season, 2 seasons ago, when he mysteriously in the offseason lost like 30 pounds of muscle mass and didn't look the same and didn't play the same. Paleo diet. Brolic and...
But here's where things get wild. Sonnen didn't just talk about what LeBron's allegedly using. He made a claim that could blow the roof off the sports world and get both of them in serious legal trouble if it's false. Sonnen said straight up, they had the same supplier. Think about that for a second. He's not saying, I heard from someone. He's saying he personally used the same source as LeBron. That's a statement you don't make unless you're dead sure. Because if he's lying, he's getting sued into oblivion. And Sonnen didn't stop there. He dropped another bomb and brought up Tiger Woods. He said there's only one golfer who follows the same Big Three protocol, and it's Tiger. Meaning this isn't just about LeBron, it's about how some of the biggest names in sports might have found ways to stay dominant long after they should have slowed down. Sonnen's basically saying there's a shadow system, an underground network of elite athletes and suppliers that's been quietly fueling greatness for years, and he's the first one bold enough to pull back the curtain and show how it all works. Now, every time LeBron plays 40 minutes and still looks fresh, you can't help but think of EPO. Every dunk over a 20-year-old defender screams growth hormone. Every season he survives without injuries makes you remember Sonnen's words about the big three. And when you look at the facts, it's hard to ignore. LeBron's 40 years old, in his 23rd season, and still played 70 games last year at an elite level. That's not just impressive anymore. That's almost impossible. LeBron went 71 for 71 on dunk attempts last season. Perfect. Not one miss. Do you realize how wild that is for someone pushing 40? Let's compare that to every other all-time great. Michael Jordan retired at 38 after averaging 19 points and looking completely done. Kobe's final year at 37 was painful. His body just couldn't take it anymore. Magic Johnson was finished at 32. Even Kareem, who made it to 39, was barely putting up 10 points a night. Every legend followed the same path, dominant in their prime, fading as age caught up. That's how the human body works. You slow down, you lose bounce, recovery, and power. Your body reminds you that time is undefeated, but somehow LeBron James didn't get the memo. At 40, he's still flying down the court, still dunking like it's 2013, still putting up 24, 8, and 8 like it's nothing. This isn't normal. It's never happened before in NBA history, and according to Chael Sonnen, there's a reason for it. But here's the twist. It's not just him saying it anymore. Look at the people around LeBron. The connections to performance enhancers are getting harder to ignore.
James on steroids?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. He invests like $1 million into his body every year, I think.
New evidence came out suggesting that the NBA tried covering up the link between LeBron and the biogenesis investigation.
I don't know what that is. That's a lot of big words.
It's like HGH, growth hormones.
Gotcha.
It's a little suspicious to me.
If you're playing for that long at that caliber of play, there's going to be questions.
He's jump shooting, he's driving, he's taking hits, he's dunking over people.
Yeah, there's always going to be questions. I think that he's just a different type of human, but I hope that this isn't true.
But no one's ever done it.
But the technology and the procedures like to maintain your body hasn't been this.
Tristan Thompson, one of LeBron's closest friends and longtime teammates, got suspended in 2024 for violating the NBA's PED policy. That's someone from LeBron's inner circle, a guy who's trained with him, traveled with him, shared the same workout routines, and he got caught. Then there's Jeff Teague, a former All-Star who went on his podcast and flat out said LeBron was juicing back in his Miami Heat days. Teague talked about a time when LeBron sat out weeks with a back injury and came back looking totally different. Leaner, sharper, like his body had been reset. Put all that together, Sonnen's insider claims, Thompson's suspension, Teague's first-hand story, and you start seeing a pattern. These aren't random coincidences anymore. It's starting to look like pieces of the same puzzle. Back in 2014, Brian Windhorst, one of the most connected reporters in basketball, mentioned that LeBron suddenly took a 2-week break, then came back looking sharper and faster than ever. Even Kevin Garnett has dropped hints over the years, little comments that made people wonder if there was more going on behind the curtain. And now Chael Sonnen's claims are connecting all those dots with details only an insider could know. When this many voices start saying the same thing, and when the people closest to you keep getting caught or saying weirdly revealing stuff, the smoke's too thick to ignore. At some point, you've got to admit, there might actually be a fire. And if that's true, it could torch everything LeBron has built over the last 2 decades. But here's what's really wild: LeBron's total silence. With Sonnen saying they shared the same supplier, with close friends like Tristan Thompson suspended for PEDS, with old teammates and analysts whispering about it, LeBron hasn't said a single word. No statement, no tweet, no interview, just pure silence. And yet, you know what he has responded to? Memes. His legal team actually sent cease and desist letters over fake pictures, photoshops of him looking homeless or pregnant, just dumb internet jokes. He went after trolls online, but said nothing to defend himself from direct accusations that could ruin his legacy.
But there's only one golfer.
Please tell.
There's only one golfer. I'm not going to, but there's only one golfer that follows the big three. And the big three is EPO, growth hormone, testosterone. That's the Lance Armstrong diet. There's one golfer, but it's Tiger Woods. Like, yes, it does matter. People will say it all the time, it doesn't matter. John Daly won it. It's like, it matters. Trust me that it matters. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. And if other basketballers understood what it did, EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all game long. You can shoot in the fourth
More
quarter
red blood
just like
cells,
you
more
shot in the
oxygen
fourth
in your
minute.
red blood cells. Okay, got you.
It's the king of performance enhancer.
How does that make sense? You'll call your lawyer over a meme, but not when someone publicly says you share a drug dealer? That's not how an innocent man moves. That's the behavior of someone who knows that speaking out might make things worse. Because once you deny it publicly, you're locked in. And if any proof ever surfaces that contradicts your words, you're finished. One lie, and the whole image collapses. So instead, LeBron's playing it safe by saying nothing at all. Once you lie and get caught, your credibility's gone forever. But if you stay silent, you can play it off. Pretend it's not worth your time. Let your PR team say he doesn't respond to baseless rumors. It's not about truth, it's strategy. And that's exactly where Clutch Sports comes in. LeBron's agency isn't just a sports group, it's a media powerhouse. They've got deep ties across networks, podcasts, and news outlets. When bad press starts spreading, they can make calls, pull strings, and remind reporters just how much access they'd lose if they push too far. That's not conspiracy, that's business. In today's media world, the biggest agencies protect their stars by controlling the story. So when Jeff Teague suddenly backtracked on his LeBron was juicing comments and said he was just joking, was that really his idea? Or did someone make a quiet call telling him it'd be smart to shut it down? And what about the other players who've hinted at this and then suddenly went quiet? That's not random, that's influence. Clutch Sports has mastered the art of shaping narratives. But here's the catch. The internet never forgets. It's 2025, and once something's online, it's forever. Chael Sonnen's interview, it's out there, downloaded, clipped, and shared millions of times. You can't erase it. And now, that interview changes everything. Every time LeBron does something incredible for his age, people won't just be amazed, they'll be suspicious. Every time he plays through an injury that should have kept him out weeks, fans won't call him tough. They'll wonder what he's taking. Once that seed of doubt is planted, it grows on its own. And all it takes is one real piece of evidence, one leaked document, one ex-insider, one investigation with proof, and the entire empire collapses overnight. Because when the truth comes out, no amount of PR or silence can save you. That's what's really on the line here. LeBron's entire legacy. This isn't just about basketball stats anymore, it's about whether he did it clean, or if the whole thing was built on something else.
Bron was better.
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat Bron.
Miami Heat.
I'm going this Cavs Bron because this Cavs Bron had a 3.
Man, y'all crazy. Miami Heat
best
Bron
Bron we ever seen. I ain't gonna lie.
He was on steroids, bro. He had to sit out. He was on steroids for real.
Now you
like legit was on steroids, bro. I'm allegedly, but like he had to sit out, bro. Y'all remember when they told him like they
there goes
start
the Clutch Sports allegations.
Y'all remember that though?
No.
When they was like he got everybody, they started testing for HGH, and they was like, yo, and he had to sit out. Like he said his back was hurt, and he sat out for like 3 weeks, and he came back skinny. This is just I was in the league, I remember. And he came back in, he was crazy though, bro.
Nah, that might have been the best Bron, bro. At Miami,
bro. If it ever gets proven that performance enhancers played a role in his longevity, everything changes. The scoring record, worthless. The 4 championships, tainted. 2 decades of dominance, forever marked with an asterisk. Just look at history. Barry Bonds, one of the greatest hitters ever, can't even get into the Hall of Fame because of PED ties. Lance Armstrong won 7 Tour de France titles, and they stripped every single one. His name became a symbol of deception. The documentaries didn't celebrate his victories. They exposed his lies. That's the nightmare scenario LeBron faces if Chael Sonnen's claims ever get confirmed. And maybe that's why things around him suddenly feel off. Maybe that's why the Lakers haven't offered him an extension. Maybe that's why teams are hesitant despite his still elite numbers. Maybe that's why trade rumors won't stop swirling. Front offices hear things the public doesn't. They talk to agents, doctors, trainers. And if there's even a chance that LeBron's story could end in scandal instead of celebration, no team wants to be holding the bag when it happens. So they treat him like an expiring contract. 1 more year, no long-term deal, no promises. That's not how you treat a legend with a spotless image. That's how you treat a potential problem. Chael Sonnen just kicked open doors that can't be closed. His specific claims and personal experience have given others permission to finally speak out. The whispers that floated around NBA circles for years can now turn into public conversations. And that's where things get dangerous, because once other players, trainers, or insiders start talking, once the media begins treating this as a legit story, the narrative shifts permanently. The conversation's no longer about how great LeBron is. It's about what he might have done to stay that great for this long. Everything's changed now, because for the first time, someone with real credibility finally said out loud what everyone else only whispered. And once that happens, there's no going back. The questions won't stop. The spotlight only gets harsher. Unless LeBron's operation is airtight, eventually something leaks. The next few months could decide everything. LeBron's entering what might be his final season, and the Lakers are acting like they already know it. Trade rumors won't stop, and now, thanks to Chael Sonnen, the talk about performance enhancers isn't some wild internet rumor anymore. It's a full-blown conversation backed by details, confidence, and first-hand experience. This isn't a random blogger stirring drama. This is an MMA veteran saying, "I know what he's doing, because I've been there." That's a whole different level of accusation. And if even one piece of proof surfaces, one leaked document, one insider, one brave voice willing to go on record, it changes everything. LeBron's story would flip overnight from greatest of all time to biggest fraud in basketball history, because history always catches up. Secrets don't stay buried forever. People talk, paper trails get found, and when you've been under the spotlight for 20 straight years, someone somewhere is digging right now. If there's truth behind any of this, it'll come out. And when it does, Chael Sonnen will be remembered as the one who called it first, the man who dared to say what no one else would when it still mattered. The only question left is when the truth drops, and whether LeBron's empire can survive it when it does. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because this story is far from over. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.